Welcome back, y'all. We're back in my normal room. It's been a couple days where, the vlogging has been kind of sporadic. And, I'm happy to say that, oh my goodness, my friend just texted me. It's totally, okay, just a second. Let me do this. Okay. Hey, now we're back. Okay. Hey, so yes, as pretty sporadic couple last days of vlogging. Was just up and about, and also just kind of no routine kind of established. But now, uh, going forward, after Christmas, so a lot of the routines are gonna uh, start back up again in January, February, March, April actually. Until April, there's not many holidays or anything like that, so. Oh, I'm hoping to start my routine back up and be a little bit more consistent on the quality blogging as we're doing here, right? With the lighting and also the videotaping. I also want to try to get in my video recordings to be more quality as well. But looking at these videos, it seems pretty crisp, right? Doing it from my phone instead of the laptop. But enough of that stuff. Today, I just wanted to talk a little bit about unconditional love or beauty. So, perhaps a better name for this vlog will be the unconditional. So, what I name the unconditional are the different aspects of our lives that we uh, should express or appreciate for the fact of their existence. For example, love. So you can't truly love something if you don't love it unconditionally. And what that means is that you love to just love. So, for example, um, or better way to put it is how Kant on moralized his moral moralized oh my god moralized his moral structure and his moral ethics and framework. And what it is treating things as an end instead of a means. So what does that mean? Well, oh, think of it like Mark Manson talks about this better than I do, but think about going to the let's say Chipotle to get a burrito. You get into your car, that's the means to which you go get your burrito, right? So you're using your car as a means to go get your burrito, which is the final end goal. Well, Kant talks about how we a lot of humans do this with humans as well, right? A perfect example is my friend from the military. He told me a story, well, an instant where his supervisor came up to him and said, "Hey, how you doing? How's life? How you doing?" He's like, "Yeah, good, not too bad, not too bad." And then he says, "Good to hear. Then now we have a mission that's going on, and I need you to go out there." And he was telling me how annoyed this is, and it's the perfect example of this means and ends. So the supervisor was using the questions of how you're doing and what's going on in your life, how are you feeling, as a means to his end goal of, okay, I need you to get over there, because he wanted to butter him up pretty much. He didn't actually care about what my friend was, how his life was, or how he was doing. He was just using it as a means, right? And people can tell. People know. Like I, my friend, even though he doesn't understand this concept of means to an end, he he was pissed off. He was annoyed because he intuitively know that he was just the supervisor was using that as a tool to get it to what he actually wanted. So what Kant argues is that we should just, for humans, we have to um, use them as an ends rather than a means. So same situation, right? If the supervisor goes up to my friend and says, "Hey, we need someone at the mission," he's telling him straight up that's his end, right? There is no means, and there's no in between for how he gets that. He's telling him straight up, "Hey, this is what I want. This is the end." And then afterwards, he says, "Okay, but right now, how are you doing?" With that, at you better, or it's more to an end, right? You could still use it as a transaction, right? The supervisor might be asking how he is in order to get a, um, further compliance later on. But if you switch it up like that, most of the time you can and explain it through you can express it through ends, right? That you actually care about what the supervisor cares about what my friend is going through. My Instead of him thinking that, or him using it as a means to do some other transaction. And so this is Kant's philosophy, ethical and moral philosophy, as I understand it, and so using people as an ends rather than a means, and that is directly correlated to anything that is unconditional. So love, for example, right? So if we love someone for a specific reason, because they're our son, or no, they because we want something from them, or because we know we're gonna get something from them, or because they had did something good for us before, or so on and so forth. That's not unconditional, and I would argue that's not even love. That's some other lower form, right? It's all based on transactions, and that's what a lot of teenagers go through. Is this moral equivalent of love, right? Okay, well, if I give you this, if you give me this, then that means you love me. Or if I give you this and you give me something in return, that's love, which is is going based off of Kant's philosophy and just what unconditional love is not love. Unconditional love is what parents should have for their children, right? Parents should love their children no matter what happens, because the world isn't going to give that to them. So if a child breaks laws, if a child betrays their parents, if a child gets angry at them, cusses them out, blah, 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 blah. If a child says, "I don't love you, I'll never love you, screw you." If a child does anything like that, or expresses any hatred, or betrays their parents, but the parents still love them, still say, "Hey, I still love you no matter what. No matter what you go through or what you say, no matter what you do, no matter who you become, I will still love you no matter what." That's unconditional. And this unconditional love is what I argue that every parent should do, just because, like what I said, the world's not going to give it to them, right? That's what a parent's job is. To, one, make sure you don't get your kid killed, and two, give them unconditional love. Now, I told you I was going to talk about Puss in Boots again, and we're going back. Spoilers if you haven't watched it. because I I didn't cry the whole movie, but there was this one part where burst I burst into tears. Spoilers. Okay. Hey, so Goldilocks and the three bears. They're little characters. It's Goldilocks and the three bears, the mama bear, the papa bear, and the brother bear. And Goldilocks is going to try to find the last wish, and the bears are going with her. But then they find out that she's going to go get the last wish because she wants an actual family, a blood family, right? So not the family of the bears, but a human family. And you could see the devastation in all the bears. It's like, you you don't even think we're a family? What is that? But I, Goldilocks doesn't back down. She says, "As I just want a family of my own. That's what I want." And then one of the most profound moments, it's gonna make me cry right now. Profound moments is when the mother bear goes, "Okay, let's go." And I'm gonna butcher this, but the father's like, "What? We're gonna help her?" And the mother's like, "Yes, yes, we are. If that's what Goldilocks wants, we're gonna give it to her." And then she goes, and her actual son almost dies in this mission, and going to the last star. Her father almost dies. She almost dies, and it's that moment when the mother bear was like, I know you haven't accepted me as your mother. I know you haven't accepted me or as family. But that doesn't matter. You're family to me. Even if you go the rest of your life not accepting me as your mother, I will still love you. And that from a children's movie was one of the deepest expressions of unconditional love that I've experienced in my life, or not in my life, but have seen in media. I've been very blessed to have a mother who has expressed that time and time again, that unconditional love. And that's what it means to be unconditional. There is no logic to it. There's no rationalities. In all the reason and logic and let's say, yeah, in any reasoning you could come up with, the mama bear should have said, no, screw you then. If I am not, if you don't love me like I love you, then what's the point? And that would be thinking transactionally. That would be thinking logically, right? Logically, that would make sense. But love and beauty, they're not logical. They shouldn't be. They go beyond reason. Well, true love does, right? This true unconditional love. They go beyond what is unconditional, what is reasonable and rational. And that's why we have to do our best to, one, be rational beings, but two, to be unrational in our love and our appreciation, beauty, and art. Because it's the molding of these two which I believe makes humanity, makes quite a whole human being. Yeah. So I hope you have someone who unconditionally loves you, and know that it's like everything in life, it's hard to know right? I went 27 years of my life not understanding what un, unconditional love was, or rather, like what love was, until I burst down crying, realizing my mom has been giving me unconditional love since I was a baby, and just thanking her for that. Um, and still trying to figure out for me. And one of the big things is being uncertain in your theories and beliefs, right? So I have this picture of what unconditional love is now, but I'm always trying to refine it and understand it more and more and more, because I can never understand love fully. I think I can go more into that with the Tao and also the Logos and Stoicism, but I think I think that's good for right now. Understanding the unconditional in unconditional love. So yeah, yeah, that was a hard one. I told you I was gonna talk about Puss in Boots again. God, such a good movie. Such a good movie. Go watch it if you haven't. But anyways, that's it for me. Hope you guys have a good night. Bye.